Hello everyone, and welcome back to another installment of GFK Yu-Gi-Oh! Sorry for the little bit of a hiatus, just with school, everything starting back up. It's gotten a little crazy and I haven't been able to make as many videos as I'd like to as of late, but I'm back now. Over this little break, I actually went with some of my friends to a GOAT tournament in Cincinnati. I'm from the Dayton area, and so there was a tournament that was nearby in Cincinnati at Plus One Gaming. If you ever are over there, it was a really fun time. Had a great experience. I felt like I played really well. My friend Zach, who I played with on the channel, check out that video, shameless plug. He played, we had a lot of fun. My friend Nick was playing as well. He was playing Chaos Warriors. It was surprising, he didn't like the deck at all. Like, he said it was really trash, but he played it anyways because he thought it was the best deck. And he went 2-3 and dropped. Then he was like, this deck sucks, I'm not playing this anymore, I'm going back to Chaos Recruiter. And then my buddy Zach was playing his Chaos Recruiter list, and he did pretty well. I think he went X2, it was 5 rounds of Swiss. They didn't do top cut, just 5 rounds, and called it after that. But Zach did really well, considering it was his and my first GOAT tournament. I went X2 as well. Actually, I was at table 1 for the last round, so and the last guy was the only XO, so if I would have won that game at table 1, I probably would have won the tournament. Yeah, I know, I'm boo-hooing, I'm crying, whatever, I'm a big baby, but you know, it was still a great experience. I had a great time. I learned a lot about GOAT format. I learned a lot about my deck, and I would totally do it again if I had the chance. The deck I was playing, if you can tell by the thumbnail and the title of the video, is my favorite GOAT deck, Chaos Thunder Dragon. This is a little bit different than the list that I showed as my first video, I believe, on this channel. It's a little bit of a rough video, so I hope that you guys enjoy this deck profile. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more GFK content. Okay. So this is the deck. So we start off 3 Thunder Dragon standard. This is the best card in the deck. Every time I resolve this card, I was either going into a winning position or I was going to take the lead. There's so many cards that interact so well with Thunder Dragon. It's just completely busted. Not much else to say other than that. The 1 BLS, obvious. 3 Chaos Sork, obvious as well. A lot of lists play 2, but I think 3 is best because I play card destruction in this list. You can just afford to discard a random Chaos Sork that's not doing anything. For the flip monsters we played, 2 Night Assailant, very, very good. It's kind of in the same regard as Thunder Dragon, where it's like those 2 cards make the deck what it is. Thunder Dragon giving you basically an extra card for you to discard off of any of your many discard cards. And Night Assailant is really good because it kind of serves the same purpose. It's almost like a second and third copy of a card like Sinister Serpent. So it's really, really good to have it in the deck, especially with all the busted flips we play, this is a new addition to the deck. 3 Gravekeeper Spy. This card was the MVP. So I think this card, when I first started playing this deck, I thought this card was trash. I read it as it's a monster that just plays itself on the board. It doesn't draw you a card. It doesn't get you to one of your busted power spells. It doesn't do anything. All it is a big defense, and it summons another version of itself, which is actually really good. Summoning just a 2k beater that your opponent has to commit to outing is so, so good in a format where hand advantage and card advantage is so crucial. So playing Gravekeeper Spy either reads, your opponent is not going to be able to kill you unless you kill the spy, and you can just sit there and chill on it, and what's even better is it can just play another copy of itself. So Gravekeeper Spy is such a good addition to the deck. I know a lot of lists play 2, but I actually really like 3, just because we do play Tsukiyomi, we do play Book of Moon, so we can resolve it multiple times. And seeing like the third copy after summoning, like you summon 2 and then you have a third copy in deck, it's still really good because it's still technically counted as a flip monster, so you can use it with Night Assailant, and it's really, really good. So then 2 Dekoichi, pretty standard. Dekoichi was good. You could make an argument that you could cut one of the spies for a third Dekoichi. I actually just like Spy better, but Dekoichi is really good too. 2 Moth, busted. Great flip monster. Probably the best flip ever printed. Just recycles every good spell in your deck. And then the 1 Merchant. It's just for a light target. You just need more lights in the deck. So, and it's a really good light monster. So that's the monsters. Or the important monsters, we'll say. And then we play these last couple of one-ofs. 1 Breaker, busted. 1 Tribe. It's really good in this deck because you discard so much. 1 Tsukiyomi. A lot of lists don't play this, but I actually think it's really important. 1, it's easily sided out games 2 and 3 against lists that don't, you don't need to play Tsuk against. But it's also good because of Gravekeeper Spy, because of Dekoichi, because of Moth. We play so many flips that Tsuk is almost always live, and because we play Sangan, we can also search it. And I think only 1 is fine. You don't have to play more. I think if you play 2, it's a little bricky, but Tsuk is still really, really good. And then 1 Sangan, 1 Serpent, and that's it for the monsters. Pretty standard monster lineup, I feel like. And then for the spells, 1 Greed, standard, Graceful, Duo, all makes sense. Graceful is especially good in this deck because of all of the discards that we have. 1 Card Destruction. I feel like every single Chaos Thunder Dragon deck should be playing Card Destruction, so that's why we play it. I resolved it. I usually wanted to wait until my opponent had a little bit of cards left, just so that I wasn't giving them a whole bunch of cards to cycle through. So I did wait on this card a lot. I like to set this card a lot, give my opponent extra pressure because, the card could be anything, and then just flipping it and, wiping my opponent's hand and getting some cards myself. So super good. Heavy Storm makes sense. MST and Snatch Steal, all generically good. And then we play 2 Book of Moon, really good because of all the flips we play. I wasn't playing this card at 2. I was playing it at 1 originally, and then my friend Nick was like, you have to play more than 2 copies of this card because it literally works with every single card in your deck. With BLS and Chaos Sork, you can banish twice or banish an attack. It's just stupid good. So I was really thankful that he brought that up to me because Book of Moon is actually a busted card. And then 2 Knock makes sense. Knock is just good. And then moving on to the trap cards, we play 2 Regeki Break. So this card was sort of the MVP right next to Gravekeeper Spy. Those were like the 2 best cards in the deck by far. Regeki Break, I feel like, is so infinitely better than Wind Blast. I know there's a big argument between the 2, but I played Regeki Break, and there was never a point where I was like, oh, well, I wanted to stop my opponent from fading a draw step. You really just want to get rid of the cards. I know that sometimes you're like, oh, well, you're, there's a chaos monster that my opponent is going to, like, there's a light or a dark that they have on board, and if I Regeki break it, it goes to grave, whereas if I Divine Wind Blast, it just goes on the top of the deck, they fade their draw step, and they don't have a Chaos Monster in grave. That's cool, but the way that I play this deck is I play this as not only a copy of Sakuretsu Armor, but it's also a copy of Dust Tornado. So giving them back a Mirror Force that they have set doesn't help me at all. What helps me is getting that Mirror Force in grave and never having to worry about it resolving. So I think Regeki Break is an infinitely better card for that reason, because I play it as it's not supposed to be specifically for monsters. It's supposed to be both for monsters and spell traps. So really, really good. And I honestly wanted to play it at 3, but I just couldn't find the room. And then we play Mirror Force, standard. Torrent. I'm not a big fan of Torrent, but Nick and Zach were both like very, very adamant on me playing Torrent. It was okay. It was fine. I never sided it out. I never felt like it was really, really busted. It was just kind of okay. One ring. I didn't ring anybody for game, I don't think. It was good. It's fine. It's ring. And then 1 return from the different dimension. I cut this down to 1 because 2 was getting really bricky. This won me 1 game. So in my matchup, I lost round 1 to Goat Control, just the standard Goat list. I probably could have won. I might have misplayed, but regardless, I couldn't see into the future of what my opponent was going to do. So I made like a 50-50 chance, and I just lost on it. So it's, it happens. It's GOAT format. So I got paired down, and I played against the Rescue Cat OTK deck, and I returned him for game twice. So that was really nice. It was just a free win against that deck because he had no battle traps, no scapegoat set, and so I just was able to activate return and win the game. So it was super busted. And then the last card, which was also really good, was Spell Shield Type 8. Super good because I played against a recruiter list. And I was able to stop Creature Swap. I was able to stop Snatch Steal. I was able to stop a metric ton of Noblemen of Crossouts. It was so good all day long. I recommend playing this card because it just outs so many more things that you could possibly think of. You hear oh, it only can negate spell cards that target monsters specifically, and you're like, oh, well, that's really specific. That there's not a lot of cards that do that. Well, actually, there's a billion. There's Book of Moon, there's Snatch Steal, there's Knock, there's Creature Swap, there's way more. There's Brain Control and Mind Control. All of those cards can be outed with Spell Shield. So super, super good. It didn't win me games outright, but it gave me so much advantage because I was able to play my flips. So that's the main deck. The side deck I was playing, I wasn't playing an extra deck, obviously, because there's no metas, no polys. The side deck I was playing, I was really happy with. I don't think I would change a single card in this, except maybe I would play more than 1 copy of Mobius. Mobius was so clutch. I sided this in against every trap deck. I played a warrior deck that I sided this in. I was playing a standard goat list that I sided this in. Stupid good. It helped me win game 2 and almost helped me win game 3 in the final match. So stupid good. Kaiku was really good. It's just kind of Kaiku. I didn't play as many Chaos decks as I really wanted to. I played a lot of just standard GOAT, and I played a lot of just like weird stuff. I played water. I played the Rescue Cat deck. I played one Goat List, one Recruiter, and the last round I played like this weird like mid-range deck that was like sort of Monarch, sort of Chaos, sort of Goat Control. So it was a kind of weird list, but it was still, you know, it was okay when it came up. And then 2 Azure Priest, pretty standard. I sided this in against Goats. It was really good when I sided it in. For the spells, 2 Mind Control. I never sided this in, but I don't think I would ever cut it because I never played the mirror match, which I was assuming I'd be playing like the entire day, basically. So I sided heavy for the mirror match, and it just didn't work out, which is fine because, I mean, Kaiku is good in general, and Mind Control, I mean, I'm still glad I had it. It just wasn't fantastic. I played 1 Brain Control. I always sided in Brain Control with Mobius because I'm able to steal my opponent's monster, tribute it off from Mobius. Brain Control is good in general also because I can just side it in by itself if Mobius isn't very good, and I can tribute off stuff with Thunder Dragon. So Thunder Dragon becomes like a super good card when you have your Brain Control as well. If I could change anything, like if I knew that there wasn't going to be a lot of chaos, I'd probably just play more copies of Brain Control and another Mobius, just because it's really, really good. And then 3 Royal Decree makes sense. I sided this in a lot. There was a lot of decks playing a lot of trap cards, even decks that I didn't imagine playing trap cards played a lot, so, you know. Trap Dust Shoot. I sided this in a few times. It was just kind of okay. It's kind of like Kaiku. And I mainly wanted to side it in against a lot of the Chaos decks and like Gate and stuff like that, but it didn't really come up as much, so Dust Shoot was just kind of okay. And then 2 Magic Jammer. I wanted to side this in specifically for Reasoning Gate, and there was 1 Reasoning Gate player, and I didn't get to play him, so I was kind of pissed. I did side it in a lot, and it was really good. I sided it in, I think, in the Water matchup, because the Water deck plays a lot of spells. And then I think I might have sided it in against Goats. I can't remember exactly. I know I definitely sided it in for Water. But yeah, it was good when it came up. I think it's really, really good in this deck specifically because it says discard and you can discard cards. So yeah, that is the side deck. And that's the deck. If you guys have any comments or suggestions for things I should add, things I should remove from the deck, just let me know in the comments. I'm always down to craft a better deck. I think this list is very, very close to perfect in my opinion. I know that's sounding kind of pompous, but I really, really like this list, and I want to see what you guys think of it. So let me know down in the comments, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.